In January of 2007, Joshua Bell, a world-renowned violinist, gave a free concert in a busy rush-hour subway station in Washington, D.C. It was part of a Pulitzer Prize-winning social experiment being run by the Washington Post. And the idea was simply this: if Joshua Bell were dressed as a street musician, standing there playing for the change thrown in his case, how many of the thousands of people that were going to walk by him that morning would actually realize the extraordinary opportunity they'd been given? How many of them would actually see the artist, actually hear the music coming from his Stradivarius violin? You know, the results were really very interesting. Of the 1,096 people that walked by him that morning, 7 stopped to listen. And you know, so when people were given an extraordinary opportunity, I mean, Joshua Bell plays to sold-out houses, Carnegie Hall, London, Paris, Moscow, Tokyo, playing on a $3.5 million Stradivarius violin. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hear him play. The vast majority of people walked right by without ever looking, based largely on their preconceptions of street musicians. You know, oh, no, I know what that is. Thank you very much. I'm in a hurry. Think what they missed, huh? What a shame. Now, my name's Ed Hardesty, and I want to first thank you just for taking the time to listen today. I realize there are a lot of other things you could have chosen to do, and I really do appreciate it. I want to give you just a little bit of background about myself. I live in a small town about 20 miles north of New York City with my wife and my 3 daughters, and for many years I've worked as a real estate broker in the luxury residential markets in New York City. Now, I think our story really begins on the morning of September 11th. When I found myself standing in the North Tower of the World Trade Centers at 8:45 in the morning. You know, we lived across the street at the time, and my wife was home 2 months pregnant. I'd just dropped my youngest daughter off at school about 2 blocks up the street. And we all know what was about to happen. You know, we were really very lucky. We lost our home, our belongings, our friends, our community. But we were able to walk away from it. And I share that with you really to illustrate 2 things. One, that I came away from that experience with a deep felt belief in the fundamental goodness of people. Because the incredible outpouring of kindness and support and generosity that was just so freely given to my family and I that day really made all the difference in our being able to pick up the pieces and keep going. And second, that life's very funny, no? I mean, you just absolutely never know what's going to happen next. Because I can assure you that what happened to my family and I that morning was not part of our plan. And I have to tell you, there was a while there that we were really, feeling sorry for ourselves. I mean, that was tough. But I think after a bit, we came to realize that, maybe, just maybe, we'd actually been given a little bit of a gift, kind of a silver lining, if you would. Because we realized that we had a chance now to really sit down and look at our life, figure out what we wanted to do next, and, really think about where did we want to live? What do we really want to do for a living? How much time do we want to spend with the kids? Where do we want to be in 5 years? Where do we want to be in 10 years? And I think most importantly, how do we want to get there? I have to tell you, looking back, we made a lot of decisions that if you'd asked me before that, I'd have told you you're out of your mind. But in hindsight, they've really ended up exceeding all expectations. Now, we're going to be presenting over the next couple of minutes a couple of options that, at the very least, are extremely viable and we actually think are extraordinary. What you do with them, it's up to you. We know how we feel about it. The question is, what do you think? Okay? Great. Let's get started.